Sir, where I practice medicine for a number of years. Yes, sir. I miss you all. It's good to be back here in 757.
Absolutely. There we go. There we go. Put slides in your pocket for me.
Absolutely.
You want to do a good one today?
Oh, is he available?
We're just going to do it all together. So
Hi, Governor.
Good to see you.
Rima from the Daily Press.
Yes, ma'am. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Brendan, where you go stand?
What's that?
Where you go stand, right?
Am I good here or
Yeah,
you want
fine.
me to move?
That's fine.
Whatever's easier for you. Good.
All right.
Right, yes, right. Yeah. You're gonna be at the ties tomorrow, right?
Yeah, looking forward. I got a nice shoulder there. They get it all ready.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just kidding.
I'm ready.
Okay, well, so you touched on it some there, but what does this mean for Virginia's history, which you said
Right.
was at a time shameful?
You know, there are a number of African American cemeteries around the Commonwealth of Virginia that have just been overgrown. Nobody has really taken care of them. So we're really trying to restore those because, as I said, we can't always learn about history in textbooks, and so it's important for families to be able to go back to the cemeteries, especially these African American cemeteries, and look at the headstones and relive the history of their family. And this has been going on now for 400 years. 2019 will be the 400-year anniversary of when the first indentured servants came to the United States. And so we want to make sure that people around the Commonwealth of Virginia understand this history and that we can keep that alive.
Governor, you're here today. You signed an easement for this property out here. For our viewers at home, what is that, and what is that going to do for this? What does that mean?
Yeah, well, actually, it means several things. One, that people can get to this. As you know, they've been cleaning up the area, getting rid of the overgrown, the vines, etc. And it also means that this will remain in perpetuity, that it will be maintained so that people will be able to come and visit the grave sites of their ancestors and learn of their history. So it's an important day for Hampton and for the Tucker family, but really important day for history in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And for you, how special is it for you to be here today? Why is it so important for you to be here and recognize the cemetery and sign that easement to protect this land?
Well, one of the things that I mentioned today is that we live in a very diverse society, and we really need to make sure that we understand our history, and history sometimes repeats itself, so we want to make sure that Virginia is open, that we're inclusive, that we welcome people to the Commonwealth of Virginia, and a way of doing that is by speaking out and talking about the importance of a diverse society. So it was very important for me to be here today, and as most of the viewers know, it's always great to be back in Hampton Roads. This is where Pam and I raised our children, and we love coming back to, as I said earlier, to 757.
Governor, the Secretary of Natural Resources mentioned that you guys have some things coming up in 2019, and he specifically mentioned Fort Monroe, but then he didn't elaborate. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, well, 2019 is the 400th anniversary of when our indentured servants landed on the coast of the United States, and so, Fort Monroe is where that happened, and so we know that that's just around the corner, and again, we want to do everything that we can to make sure that we allow people to relive that history, and as I said earlier, so that we never go back, so that we are inclusive and we don't treat people differently. That's very important to us. So the anniversary, the 400th anniversary, is coming up in 2019, and I would encourage if there are people in this area that haven't ever been to Fort Monroe, the Casemate Museum is over there. Just a tremendous amount of history. It's really where slavery started 400 years ago and where it ended at the end of the Civil War. So I would encourage people to go back there and look at the history and enjoy a beautiful monument.
I'll do one more question.
Okay, I'm going to switch the topic a little bit. Your special session starts next week. It sounds like Democrats are going to be bringing a map proposal. What are the chances that there is going to be a map on August 30th, and then what should we expect going forward?
Well, to your question, there are 11 districts that were found by a court to be unconstitutional. They were packed, they were gerrymandered with African Americans, and this is a great opportunity to Virginia to right a wrong. And so I have called a special session on August the 30th to give the General Assembly the opportunity to right that wrong. There will be a map introduced by the Democratic caucus in the House, and I hope there will be a map that will be introduced by the Republican House as well. But this is a time that we can all sit down at the table, put the politics aside, do what's in the best interest of Virginia, and draw constitutional maps for those 11 districts.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. You all have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. You probably want your microphone.
Okay, yeah, we'll do this one first. We can come to you, ma'am. Don't worry. We'll come to you, yeah. I think she wanted a photo right over here. Okay. Do you want to be in the photo as well?